ladies and gentlemen. Wow, one more time. Hopefully many more times.
Many more times.
Welcome to the show, folks. I am imho.love, in my humble opinion.love. Because really, there's no definitive truth anymore. There are only opinions, so we figure we'd throw ours in too. You might even like it. I don't know. In my humble opinion.love, love is the end of it, because love is the end of all things. You came here in love, you're going to leave in love, and you're going to continue on in love, because that's what love's about, man. It's the last thing, it's the first thing, it's eternal. Today is the 9th of September, 2021. A couple days coming up. We've got the
8th. It's the 8th. I gave you the wrong date.
8th. Okay. Wednesday's the 8th. Yeah. Sorry, the 8th of September. So in 3 more days, we have the 9/11 remembrance. I'm sure none of us, so if you weren't alive for it, maybe you could forget it. But
yeah, we had people die in Afghanistan that weren't alive on 9/11.
Ay.
Yeah. Now you feel old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a gauge.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. So, and Mike and I have both been questioning our media voices for many years, even ever since 9/11, and I can tell you, I've just seen the chasm just opening between people that still believe that narrative, people that believe the 9/11 report, and there's some similarities all the way down the line in how you are. Or I was thinking the other day, Mike. I'm Lou Angelwolf. This is Mike Murburg. Sorry, forgot to introduce Lou Angelwolf, Mike Murburg.
Okay.
I was thinking the other day. You hear about all these statistics and so many people saying so many different things, and we took this survey and here's how it came out. And we've all questioned surveys because I think 78% of all statistics are made up on the spot, just like that one. And you research back, you just peel back 1 or 2 layers and you'll find the outcome, or the people that they asked would of course be leaning a particular way, which makes these statistics and these opinion polls kind of worthless. But I noticed this a few years ago, and it's just gotten worse and worse. All they're worried about anymore is the headline. Just get the headline out there, and then we'll maybe we'll write a retraction, maybe. And if they do, they bury it back further in the same type of journal, with as innocuous of an excuse as they can find.
Yeah, what it's like is you're on Facebook and somebody like verbally insults you in a group post or something, and then they apologize to you in a PM.
Yeah.
But never take the post down.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting, man. I try not to let the too much of that stuff affect me, especially the online arguments and jabs and this and that and the other thing. I just don't. I don't care to compete at that level, because really all everybody's doing is just regurgitating an opinion, because they really don't know. They weren't there. They didn't see it happen. You didn't see it. You heard about it. You're repeating a trusted source of yours. Good, bad, indifferent.
Or the Rolling Stone.
Yeah, the Rolling Stone. Yeah,
with the Oklahoma hospitals not being able to service gunshot wounds. It's like, wait a minute. This isn't like Chicago. It's friggin' Oklahoma. I mean, gunshot wounds in Oklahoma are a guy dropping his gun from a tree stand. It's like, when I first heard the story, I was like, what? Oklahoma? It's like, when did Oklahoma start overrunning emergency rooms with gunshot wounds? It's like what's Cheney hunting again?
Well, Oklahoma City's pretty rough.
Well,
it ain't Chicago rough, but
yeah,
it's pretty rough.
Yeah, they have higher tree stands.
There's a special sprained ankle unit.
They got a Cabela's there.
They do. I know they have two, I think. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. imho.love. I'm Lou. That's Mike. And I had a day, man. Today, the 8th of September. What a day. I have a friend of mine, the extraordinarily ill, Chris Griggs. Fantastic mechanic. He owned Trouble Free Auto Service up in Palm Harbor. I don't mean to speak of him in the past tense. I don't know if he has crossed over yet, but I have found out that his family has signed over hospice care. So that's generally not the sign of a rally. So, the afterlife's going to have a fantastic mechanic and a wonderful friend of mine, a guy I must have seen him 1,000 times in my life, and he was smiling every time I saw him. I never saw him in a bad mood. Just a really, really great guy. Hey, I'm praying for a miracle too. I hope lightning strikes the hospital, it runs down the wire, and sparks him back to complete health. On a similar avenue, different street, my friend Billy Wiener, he had a heart attack Friday afternoon and came back to work today. Kind of a couple stints. Doctor told me hooked him up while he was in there. Said you won't need any more stints. Yeah. And he looked good. His color was good.
Yeah, left the car overnight at the shop and driving it the next morning.
That's right. So, Billy, welcome back. And your prayers were definitely met. All kinds of great accomplishments today. A member of our CE5 group and personal friend of mine, Suzette, started her hypnotherapy training phase today. Had a very successful session, and she's moving her way to her next category and classification. Also, next week, folks, Lou Angelwolf and Frankie Paul are going to be at the Side Splitters in Wesley Chapel. They opened up a Side Splitters a few weeks ago in Wesley Chapel, which is North Tampa, for those of you who don't know, or Southern Zephyr Hills.
That'd be New Tampa, or New Tampa.
New Tampa. Shiny new-ass Tampa.
New Tampa.
New Tampa. Yes. And there's a Side Splitters there. I'm sure if you get hold of regular Side Splitters, they'll tell you where the other club is. So, and the original room is there at Dale Mabry and Felcher. So next week, the 16th through the 19th, show Thursday night, Friday night, 2 shows on Saturday night and Sunday night. Lou Angelwolf and one of my comic buddies, Frankie Paul. It's going to be a big yuck fest. Side Splitters, Wesley Chapel. Come on out. If you go to the Side Splitters site, if you use Lou50 in the code, you'll get 2 for 1, 50% off tickets. Lou50 or 50 Lou. I can't try them both. They'll work. Lou50. Lou50. And you get 2 for 1 tickets. Come out and see the show, man. Love it. And they actually have they got Richard Kelly this week, who's Machine Gun. Funny dude. Funny guy. Well, anyway, we're laughing, we're crying, man, here in the West Central Florida Darby Ranch CE5 Blessed Area 52 circumference. We had a CE5 or HICE meeting Saturday night out here. What was the total head count, Mike? 36?
I think it was 38.
38?
Yeah.
We had 38 beautiful souls come out. Lovely folks. Beautiful conversation. some really, really sweet people. And we had the skies were lit up all night. We had all kinds of sightings and observations, and our friend Kim was training the orbs again. It's amazing, amazing stuff. And it's as innocent as it can't get any more innocent. These are just human beings relaxed in a field, looking skyward, emptying out all their ego, emptying out their troubles, and leaving them behind or in the glove box of their car or wherever. And they're just out there open-minded and seeking higher communication, higher contact. And our ET family, as we're finding out, is reaching in every week. Every week.
Yeah, they're stepping up to the plate. We had 12 new members.
12.
Join. We're up to 440 now.
440.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the statistics on the meetup thing, okay, or on the ambassador site, actually, and we're ranked 5th in membership, right? But we are the first group that meets regularly and with a schedule.
And it's exclusive to ET, non-human intelligence. Yeah.
What are the?
They're all over the place. Like any kind of paranormal.
Oh.
And they get into Zoom sessions, and they have specific meetings for small groups of people. Even the one out in Seattle, their meetings are online, and they got like 1,100 members, but they have like 3 or 4 at their Zoom meetings, and they continue on, which is a good thing.
Hey, that's beautiful.
But what we're doing is real research. What they're doing is just talking about it.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, and those of you who are watched the show before, CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, HICE, Human Initiated Contact Experiences. This is from a neutralized and meditated mindset that we reach out to our extraterrestrial family who live somewhere up in a little neighborhood called Subtle Realm. And we love it when they come down. We offer up a group collective vortex of love and innocence, and we just let it wobble out there in space, and our extraterrestrial family comes by and winks and changes and heals people. And
they were out early too. They were out within 5 or 10 minutes of the invocation at sunset, and they kept it up until about 10:30 at night, and then slowed down. But so were we. There was so much of it. I was tired by 10, 11 o'clock.
Oh, another fast walker, whatever.
I mean, they were all over the place. They're like literally at least a dozen or more. I mean, if you didn't see a dozen, then you weren't looking.
Yeah.
So.
I got. I think I had a good lock on 4 of them. Yeah. I mean, like I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful, folks. And you know what? We are proud of our membership, and we're also, if pride is a thing that you can measure something like this with.
I would say we're happy. I'm really glad that, I'm not so much proud of it. It's a lot of work, but I'm happy that people are getting the idea.
And the amazing thing about it is 4.5 years ago, this started out as 3 people in a field sitting on a blanket. And it's turned into 440 members. We have regular attendees, anywhere from 25 to 40 folks. We're having to expand the field, so we'll have more parking.
Or make people actually
carpool.
Yeah,
smart.
That's the best way.
If you're coming from across the state, and hey, you'll have plenty to talk about on the way over,
or you can just,
or on the way home,
or you can just like stay at the roadway in at the next exit south of here. Make a weekend of it.
There's a microtel up at 50 as well. And I don't know if you ever stayed at a microtel, but for simple, basic, hey, I just need to lay my suitcase down and crash.
Yeah,
they're little. They're small. They're called microtels.
Right, did they microfiber too?
But they got comfortable beds.
Yeah.
And the ACs always work good, and they're always spotlessly clean. The ones I've run into, anyway. and they're generally pretty they're less expensive.
Well, the one on 54 and I-75 is right close to where you're going to be doing your comedy show. So
Yes.
Have
you seen the club? The new side split?
I haven't been to the new
I haven't either.
Yeah.
It's all news to me. So Lou Angelwolf, September 16th through 19th, Side Splitters, Westlet Chapel. So, but to get back to our event, we had some really, really wonderful, interesting people, and just the stories we get to share with each other, and there's just this resonant, mellow tone with all those people. They're just, I'm gonna, and I only say, I don't say 100% because nothing's ever 100% of anything. But I'm going to say at least 90% of these folks are real mellow spirits, and they're on the right track. And it could be 100%, but I haven't talked to everybody.
Yeah. Well, the whole group is what brings them on in.
Yeah.
And I was real surprised. I broke all the rules. That's all we've been doing here is we've been taking your typical Rama or the Greer CE5. Programs and deconstructing them, getting rid of everything that's unnecessary, and making this as easy as possible. Which you notice this weekend was real simple. Flip on the Eckhart Tolle 15 minutes worth of deep meditation, and go out and then do the convocation and the invocation and unite us with them. Do the CTSing. And then that's it, during the night, put on some music, Pink Floyd, just a cut here, a cut there. I got, Dolly Parton's After the Gold Rush, Stuff is good,
It's beautiful. And, the other thing, too, Mike, our crowds are getting pretty big. We may have to, switch to an ulterior speaker, a bigger speaker.
Yeah.
I have a Fender plug-in amp.
Okay.
That we could, I know we'll take a phone.
Okay.
So, or whatever. We'll just
bring it. We can use
bring
it.
Okay.
Yeah. I blew the tubes in the old one.
Yeah. Well, I got that, and I got to move here in the next couple of weeks. So, what fun! But what Mike was saying is we did break some of the house rules, and that's the topic of tonight's show: is respecting the clubhouse. And in my life, I've been involved with a lot of different groups. I'm not much of a joiner, but I kind of wind up near joiners, and they just kind of soak me into their fabric. And there have been clubhouses from golf and tennis communities to 1% biker clubhouses, and there is a thread that runs through all of these buildings and establishments and concepts of congregational places. It's you have to respect the clubhouse. Especially in the motorcycle community, the clubhouse is a very important thing. If you watched any of the Sons of Anarchy, the clubhouse was almost like a sacred ground.
Do they date Daughters of Anarchy?
Yes, they do. They create Daughters of Anarchy.
Is there a special clubhouse for the daughters?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think they call it a clubhouse.
They're
though.
out busy dancing.
They're dancing.
They're dancing.
They're happy girls. They're dancing. So the in that community, and most bikers kind of keep to themselves. They have they'll belong to a larger group, but generally their subset is much tighter, and
they're like CE5ers. They get along so well together because they have people that understand them.
Yes.
And
they speak the same language.
Yeah.
Same interests.
Well, they drink a whole lot more, but
well, yeah, they do, and they do a lot more drugs and that kind of stuff. But not all of them. Not all. There's some really sharp businessmen. They're 100% sharp.
Yeah.
But the thing that they do is they respect the clubhouse. So if you got to pull some nefarious shit, take it away from the clubhouse. Don't do it where you're going to affect everybody. Okay? And this concept of respecting the clubhouse, and you can loosen up your definition of what a clubhouse is. Okay? It's I'm going to say it's a congregant place of many participating parts, features, or people. And on a big scale, okay, on probably the biggest scale that we would be able to intelligently compare it to, are Clubhouse Earth. Clubhouse Earth. We have lost so much respect for this planet, which consequently is so incredibly strong and powerful. One of my favorite expressions is the ocean cleans itself. Mm-hmm. And it does in real life, but it does, and that saying often is related to relationships or troublesome situations, that the ocean cleans itself. Like if you had somebody come into your group and give everybody a hard time, create a ruckus, okay, well, the ocean cleaning itself eventually is going to remove that element to make itself clean. It can be a directive, it can be subliminal, it can be over time, you don't even know. But respecting this Clubhouse Earth that we're on, the materialistic ego, monetarily driven elite, or in other words, those are the toys they give us to play with, but their whole thing is control. And there's a whole new leveling of control coming at us. And just remember, you are part of this clubhouse too, and you can take care of your little section of it. You can be mindful, you can be kind, you can not pollute, you can you can live a sensible life. And not everything that's green, just because it has a green label on it, it's a marketing label. Everybody's bragging so much about not using fossil fuels and converting cars to electricity. The reality of it is, and I've known this for a long time, I know a lot about the hybrid cars, the Prius vehicles, and the Honda hybrids. I know a lot about them. I sold many of them, worked on a few of them. They're wonderful while they're burning less fuel, but most of them still burn gasoline, even though it gets 52 miles to the gallon or 48 miles to the gallon or 44 miles a gallon, which is tremendous on your pocketbook. It's very helpful. But you're still doing it, okay, just at a lower meter, okay? But in that machine is a giant lithium battery, a giant rechargeable battery, a battery that is so full of toxins, it actually has a larger environmental footprint than a Chevy Suburban that gets a quarter of the gas mileage. So just because something's marketed to you doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. Now, I will say, when the EPA or the federal government leaned on the automotive industry to clean up the emissions from their cars, the big step forward was 1974, when they mandated catalytic converters on cars. Now, and living proof of that is a skyline shot of Los Angeles. In 1969, 1970, 1971, when every car was running a carburetor, getting 8 to 10 miles to the gallon, just sucking it up like a glutton, and all those cars running rich, there was a huge black, gray cloud over the entire city of Los Angeles that never went away. And then as the years went by, the catalytic converters got better. And at first, remember how awful they were at first in 74, 75? Remember they smelled like rotten eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have the science down yet. It was settled science again. But then they finally started using two-part converters with charcoal filters, and they've got your vehicle actually running pretty darn clean these days, even just a straight gas burner. Still, the emissions are a tenth of what they used to be, maybe even a 20th of something from a 70s carbureted car. So there have been improvements, but there have also been concessions, because when this guy's done with his $200,000 hybrid or 200,000 mile hybrid Prius or whatever unit he picked, now it goes to a landfill. Now that big old battery, you got to do something with it. How do you recycle it? Where's it going? Have you seen the what do they call them? Pigs, the cesspools that the pigs have. What are they called?
Pigsties?
Pigs. Well, a pigsty. There's a bigger word for them. Not cesspool. It means cesspool. Ponds.
Oh yeah.
Lakes.
Yeah, they keep all the. They're mining that stuff now.
The pig shit.
Yeah, they are. They're actually recycling that and making fuel out of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, it's methane rich.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You ever drive through a pig farm? Lagoon. Yeah. Lagoon. Pig lagoons are called.
Yeah, visions of Brooke Shields and the
walking
lagoon.
Through pig shit.
Pig lagoon. But
yes.
no, they're doing that now. The guys who used to manage my property, up north, they stopped managing properties and they went into this in a big way, and they're making good money out of it.
That's a fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of money in that.
Some people make lemonade out of lemons. Some people make energy out of pig shit.
Yep.
So.
How many years do I have to do a show before people don't know to call me in the middle of a show?
They knocked off again?
I don't think so. I don't think phone calls knock off as much as the video requests.
Oh man. Yeah, well.
There's an agency that always wants to see my face when they talk to me.
Or somebody that tells you your warranty is up,
Hello, everyone. Hi, John Sylvester. Hi, Mark Cottingham. It looks like we're still rolling.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live, man.
Yeah, looks like it. Let's see.
Hey, there's some more people. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Marie. Hi, Nanette. All right. Mark Cottingham, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. All right. Okay, looks like we're still going. Hey, if you were the person calling me, I'll be done at 8:30. Okay? How come I just sounded like a ninth grader from Bayonne? Anyway, wherever we were, the pig lagoons. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's an investment future, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because the Chinese, who are going to be our number one employer very soon, they love pork. They love pig meat. And they're buying up all the pork. They bought Smithfield.
Right, I saw that.
Already. So
Smithfield's big.
Gigantor. So, and chances are, if you had a piece of bacon, it came somewhere from a Smithfield concern. So,
you don't get bacon. You know
bacon. What though, and it's so. My dad always told me that too. He goes, if you want to make a lot of money, you got to do something other people don't want to do.
Yeah.
That's why the garbage industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You know what's a huge industry is outhouses.
Yeah. Portable outhouses?
Yeah, portable Johnny Quicks, Go Craps, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
What do they call them up north? Skittle cans. And but again, who wants to deal with that? I do have a funny portalette story. May I tell it?
Oh, will you lay it on me, man?
Okay. This is Bradenton Motorsports Park, back when it was DeSoto Speedway. This is probably back in the mid-'80s, okay? I'm there for a night of drag racing. And of course...
Which meant cars back then, not guys in heels. Racing each other.
And, they had announced that Big Daddy Don Garlitz had entered the pit area, and he's going to be running his Top Fuel dragster in just a couple of minutes. It was running 5-second quarter miles back then. And so, of course, this creates a huge influx of people going to the bathroom because they don't want to miss the Garlitz thing. And there's thousands of people there. And there's a whole row of portalettes, probably about 20 of them in a row. And we're all kind of standing there. Most of us just have to pee. And we're standing there waiting in line. And, we're cordial guys, not complete gentlemen, but not animals either. And they open the door, hey, bathroom, not talk. And there's one of the portalettes, like at the 3/4 point, that actually has a board through the door handle, and somebody's written in black magic marker, it says out of order. I'm standing in line with 60 mechanics. And there's one mechanic goes, there's no moving parts.
I know.
In a portalette. He goes, how could it possibly be out of order? He thinks somebody's pulling a prank. So he pulls the board out, he opens up the door, he looks inside and sees what he appears to be a normal functioning thing, just somebody's punking him. Okay? Yeah. So closes the door, throws the little latch, the color turns, it means it's occupied, right? And next thing you hear is, oh! And this what had happened was the toilet deck, okay, the holes here, okay, and the toilet deck all around was pop riveted on. And somebody obviously been in there jumping up and down, or a really big person or something. Yeah. They broke the deck away from the thing. So we open up the door and all you see is this guy's sneakers sticking up. He fell totally into the sluice.
Oh, man.
And, oh, my, dude, I'm telling you, I have laughed hard in my life, but I laughed. I felt bad for the guy because, he was embarrassed and he was nasty.
Yeah.
He actually went over and took all his clothes off and stood where they swap out cool down radiators. Yeah. Just with a garden hose, just wah! And took a Gojo shower right there, just bare ass and everything. Nobody cared. And dude, we laughed so hard. And and he did make that noise. He did that whoa, whoa, whoa. So for like years, the guys I hung with that were there that night, that were standing. Every once in a while, if we ever wanted to lift the mood in a room, just go, whoa, whoa, whoa! So that's my funny portalette story. I'm sure there's more, but they're more subtle. Anyway, well, folks, this is the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg. We're talking about respecting the clubhouse. So if this Mother Earth is our clubhouse, okay, we have done it a great disservice because we have pulled some nefarious shit in its presence without any type of regret. We have polluted the rivers, we've polluted the skies, we've polluted the people to an nth degree. Did you see that thing, that clip fly by? It was aerial, like a 30-foot up aerial photograph of the boardwalk in Jersey in like 1972. And as you look, there's all these people walking shirtless and swim trunks. No fat people.
Right.
There were hardly any fat people. Everybody was in pretty decent shape. And if you look back at the old movies, like the 30s, 40s, 50s movies, there was they had to hire a fat guy, But now, man, hey, I'm no petite flower, but, and it's not all of our fault because we bought the food they sold us. We bought the food they made for us.
Yeah, but it's about choices too. I mean, if you're educated enough to know that, shitty food is going to give you a shitty result. I mean, that's not rocket science.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't eat clean, you're not gonna live clean.
That's true. That's true.
So just because it's there doesn't mean you have to buy it or eat it. It's you can take $20 and go into a grocery store, and you can buy $20 worth of brown rice, of fruits and vegetables, and get you through a week.
Yeah.
Okay. But I see all the time these people on WIC, Help to Women and Children. They come in and they buy pretzels, they buy bag food. It's all processed food.
Yeah.
And they complain they don't have enough money. But the thing is, number one, you don't cook. Number 2, you buy all processed food. Number 3, no fruits and vegetables. So what do you expect? And you're also 380 pounds and 5 feet 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and and you're hauling home, high fructose corn syrup, sugary drinks to your kids who've got rotten teeth and they're all obese.
Sure, and not to mention the brutal attacks that sugar has on the young developing brain. It really slows children's learning curves way down. So all those conscious things. Again, your clubhouse, your personal clubhouse, the clubhouse from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, from fingertip to fingertip. If you don't take care of that, okay, you really can't go pull any nefarious shit on your own clubhouse without restitution, without having to pay for it somehow, because that's the way it goes. Mike and I were talking before the show how many friends and family members we've had that have gone by the wayside because of cigarette smoke. And again, not respecting the clubhouse, not respecting your own personal vehicle that lets you travel through this life. So, like like Alan Prophet's line goes, he goes, I've lost and gained the same 50 pounds. I think in a previous life, I was an accordion. So, and I've done the same thing. I lose it, I gain it, I get in shape, I fall out of shape, and I'm doing better. Look how big my shirt is now.
Yeah.
So, and I'm very, very conscious of what I eat.
Yeah. Well, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
When you realize that, how many calories are in there. Why do I need this? Am I getting a balanced diet, enough proteins, enough fats, enough fruits and vegetables?
Yeah.
So simple. I've finally paid attention to what my ayahuasca told me a couple of years ago. Eat fruits and vegetables.
Right.
And that's what it's going. And also you realize that, wow, this is really easy to prepare. You don't have to cook it. All you got to do is wash it off and clean it,
right,
and maybe cut it, and then it's all done.
Sure.
You add yogurt to that, and some if you want to go meats, some deli turkey. You got a completely wide range of diet there that
sure
will take you through the day.
Well, and and that's on the fruit side, and on the vegetable side, really easy. Cut up some nice cabbage, throw it in a pan with some oil. Throw in some squash and some zucchini or whatever, maybe some peppers, and you've got a beautiful thing to eat. Very, very tasty all the way through. When you're buying that amount, okay, and if you're making this part of your staple existence, you can buy the organic version of that. You want the organic. You don't want the pesticides on your food. You don't. And why they allow them in the first place, I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I do. It's profit. So you can buy the organics, especially any type of fruit or vegetable that has a thin skin. Do seek the organic on that. You can probably get away with bananas and getting non-organic bananas, I guess, if you wanted to save some 10 cents a pound or whatever. But again, respecting the clubhouse. You're going, oh, okay, well, this is where we're going to conduct business, and this is a sacred place, and this is, to be protected because of all of us, okay? And you have to consider yourself all of us, whether you have a small family, big family, whether you're part of a huge workforce or just a small two-person business, whatever. There are people that count on you, and you're part of a beautiful humanic balance that's out there. And if you're taking care of yourself, I got a sweet tooth like a monster, man. Chocolate cake. I mean, I've made terrible traffic maneuvers to get to a piece of chocolate cake. It's just one of those things. But when you learn to kind of curb that stuff, and you do have little triumphs. You go, oh, you know what? I didn't disrupt the evening at the clubhouse with a big schlunk of chocolate cake. So, and it's always best to just let it slide if you can. Go to bed a little bit hungry. It's good for you.
Yeah.
But as far as, you know, the big clubhouse, you know, it's almost like we've smeared shit down the hallways of paradise. We've been given this incredible planet with just the right balance of oxygen, water, you know, for us to live and exist wonderfully. And those of us that live in Florida, other than the fact that it's too hot, 2 months too long, we live in this beautiful tropical place, man. It's amazing. Not a commercial for you to move down here, by the way. But it really is, which it's not an original idea, believe me. I had it. When did you move down, Mike? 79?
April of 1979.
79. And I got here in 69. I got here in 60. I was a little kid. I was the youngest kid in my neighborhood by 52 years. So, Dunedin rocks. So, that's in my act. But anyway, the blessings that you're given every day, your health. Like I said, I'm pretty sure a friend of mine's crossing over soon. If he hasn't already, it's not going to be long. And in a way, he's very free. He's free of this meat bag that he's been living in. His worries. You know, I mean, it's going to affect his family, of course, and there's going to be a, you know, when someone tears out of your soul circle like that, it's always a...
So did the jab get him, or did the COVID?
He got pneumonia and then got COVID when he went into the hospital.
Oh, that's a great place to
Handy.
get it. Yeah.
And I also think they hurt him with the respirator.
Yeah.
So, but hey, what do I know? It's all hearsay. I didn't see anything. That all... I had an uncle that always used to say that. Believe nothing you hear and only half of what you see. Man, you would be a person of few words if you adhered to that. You wouldn't have anything to talk about, you know? If you believed nothing you heard and only half of what you saw. But you'd probably be a pretty good debater, I would think. So.
Yeah, if you wanted to talk about it.
But that's what happens to us. We get older and we get quieter. I saw that meme on there today on my Facebook. And I got so many great meme providers. My phone's over there, and I'll think of one of them here coming up. Lundy.
Chambers.
Yeah. Yeah. Jim Chambers is back. He's funny. And our friends Lundy and Denise something. They are meme-maniacs. They make either they make them or they have found the meme gold mine because they got fresh, coherent stuff all the time. But what has, you know, what's happened with this cacophony of information that's blasting at us every moment of every day if you let it. You know, like I've kind of substated earlier in the show, you don't know who to believe anymore. You don't know who's telling you the truth or their relative version of the truth. And so consequently, there's a lot of us getting dizzy. A lot of us kind of giving up on trying to, you know, whether you're, you know, whatever your news source is, they're all becoming less and less creditable. I just watched that Joe Rogan, you know, he took the ivermectin and got well in just a few days. And CNN was saying that he was taking a horse dewormer. And you know, they hardly even retracted what it is that they said. I mean, it's all they care about anymore is the headline.
Yeah, I heard he's going to sue him for that.
He should.
Yeah.
He should. Because if you're in the information dispensation
that was the
business,
yeah. That was the other part of that the gunshot wounds in Oklahoma. It was like so insulting. It was like people in Oklahoma was taking so much ivermectin they're overdosed and gone to the hospital.
What?
Hospital? Yeah,
that was the story?
That was part of the story. It's just like, boy, those people from Oklahoma are either sure do have. They got cattle that are lacking now.
Wow.
It's like Oklahoma. But, of course, Oklahoma is not a blue state. I mean, it's as red a red state as, Utah.
Right.
It's like, how stupid. I mean, it's really, if you're going to make up news, please don't make it such a comedy. It's like, you got 5 minutes on that alone,
Yeah, sure. But, like I said, they just throw anything out there and seeing who listens and seeing who parrots it. And, I don't know who really does true research anymore.
No, and that story began with somebody interviewed a doctor who had been away from the hospital for 2 months. At least that's what it's like. Where's your second sources and third sources? You're going to take this whoa. I mean, it's so bad that a couple of Garth and the other guy, a couple of stoners could be in a basement and they want to sketch out the most ridiculous scenario. It's like, yeah, let's make fun of the people from Oklahoma. It's like,
jeez.
What can we do to get them this week,
Yeah,
Oh, man.
sure.
It's crazy.
And, if confusion is their goal, then they're kind of achieving it. How's things in the world of the Dow this week, Mike?
The Dow is always good.
It is.
The Dow is always good.
Anything in particular that ties into the Dow existence and acceptance to the Clubhouse parallel?
Yeah, well, the Tao tells us that we need to balance our, mind, body, and spirit. But actually, I've gone to a part of the Wuha Ching I'm writing on that deals with ancient Oriental medicines, and it's the first time I wrote it, it was very. It was narrow and not very deep, and this time I'm doing a little bit more research, and it's really fascinating stuff when you start connecting the dots. And we can talk about that some next week when I get it done. I print out the paperwork, but it's not that simple. And one of the things I saw in reading this morning was garbage in, garbage out. Be careful what you eat, and be careful what you think. Be careful, where you grow your clubhouse. Don't put it in amongst people that aren't going to treat it well. Don't bring your clubhouse. Don't take your body into groups of people that are not good for you. If something's going to be toxic, whether it's a human being, whether it's drink or anything, just walk the other way. You don't have to do it. It's your garden. It's your choice. You get to choose what you plant there. You get to choose what you eat. You get to choose all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no getting off the hook. You're absolutely responsible for everything you do. And that includes what you eat, and your exercise and everything else.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. There's a long time ago, my friend Francis taught me about victim mentality. And I was a very common person when it came to figuring out my problems. Many things happened because other people did things to me, or there were situations that it happened this way because of them, or they said this, or they made this happen, or they left me out to dry, or they, them, he, she.
Echo.
Yes. And I assumed certain responsibilities, but for the most part, it was always a scapegoat at the end of the story. There was always somebody that made all this happen to me. When you get to a point of recognition where you realize that it's all you, all your drama is headed for the drain, because when you accept the responsibility for everything that you did, be it right, be it wrong, be it helpful, be it harmful, whatever it is, if you were the same person out in your clothes that day, then that's how it happened. And you own that shit. You own it. And even if it's embarrassing, even if it's hurtful, even if it's expensive, you own it and you get rid of it, because it is very, very difficult to move on from that point without that clearing. If you still think that other people were the reason for your shortcoming, for your failure, for your lack of performance, or whatever it was, if it's somebody else's fault, you never got the full lesson. All you got was, a shadow of it, maybe. So when I learned to truly own my shit is when I really was my first huge step in personal growth. And that's why, that's why the church had such a wildfire excitement for the longest time, because when people found out that they could cast all their cares upon Jesus Christ and he will forgive every little sin of yours, boy, that sounds like a great deal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You have wholesale forgiveness of all your shortcomings, okay? And hey, I bought into it because I had a lot of shortcomings I wanted to be absolved of, okay? But as I got older and realized that was, I'm ever appreciative to the Christ consciousness for letting me relieve myself of that stress at the time. But when things circle back around, you realize that it was you all along. You were the one that needed to do this a long time ago, regardless of your religious enunciations.
Yeah, and when you fall into the claptrap and the shithole, it's your fault for being stupid.
Whoa.
And it's your fault if you don't go to the nearest hose and wash yourself off, because you're not going to have any friends if you don't.
That's exactly right. Well, and again, we'll come back to this. Taking care of the clubhouse also means that the clubhouse is a place of integrity. So if you have become more integrous through your acceptance of your shortcomings, of your half-truths, of your out-and-out lies, of your miscalculations, and you may lose people along the way. You may find that people no longer want to associate with you because you owned your shit. And they go, I don't want to be around a person like that. And then they go away. Well, you know what? They may have been your teacher. They may have been the person that was supposed to enlighten you onto that thing. If you cared about what they thought, then their energy had some sort of pliability with you. So, but the reality of it is, in the depth of their soul, they are watching you get better, even though they may not personally, they whatever your shortcoming was, they can't be personally involved. But deep inside, they're a little bit proud of you. And every time I see somebody, confessing to a lie, confessing to a shortcoming, and asking forgiveness, or asking at least for some sort of neutral reconciliation, it always makes me, it's a boost in my spirit, because the person that's instigating that type of conversation, they're looking for their own personal truth. They're trying to find out what it is that they're all about. And in this world where everything's confusing, where you can't trust an opinion on anything, at the imho.love show, in this world where your opinions are multifaceted. There's so many of them. You don't even know which one to believe. Okay? But then you notice somebody that's got nothing to gain by telling you something that was their fault, other than the fact to get it off of their chest or to clear their own personal air. That person now is in better shape than they were 5 minutes before they said that stuff. 5 minutes before they copped to their own thing. I rat myself out all the time. Sometimes people don't even know I did what I confessed. So, and that's all small stuff, but nothing big.
It's because you have a highly defined superego.
Is that what is a highly defined superego?
Yeah, which has really nothing to do with the ego. I don't even know why they call it the superego. I think they just could have just left it or called it self-actualization, but it wasn't until the next psychiatrist that came along in popular psychiatry.
Self-actualization.
Yeah, that's what
it's
it
better.
is. Yeah, so superego, the God concept. Come on, Freud, give us a break.
Yeah. Well, but when you're the first guy to name something, there's better definitions that come along.
When you don't know what it is, you got to put. Correct. You're right.
And but also no, it's interesting you bring up Freud, and in his from Pink Floyd shirts on up, Sigmund Freud, his psychology, his psychiatry, his point of view is readily available all over the internet, all over. And it does mechanize a blame system. They blame a lot of things on parents. They blame a lot of things on environment. They blame. And now those can be triggers, indeed, and they do affect people. But there does have to come a point where I think, this is me, in my humble opinion, that if you're okay and you're moving forward, all that stuff, it might have been unfortunate, but you do kind of got to get over it.
Yeah, well, if you don't forgive, you accumulate karma, and if you have no gratitude, then you have nothing to look forward to.
Say that again.
If you don't forgive, you accumulate karma, and if you don't have gratitude, you have nothing to look forward to, because gratitude is the price we pay for abundance.
Yes.
So, what Freud could have easily done, which is say, look, maybe your mother was too tough on your toilet training, but she had problems, so understand it and forgive her and move on.
Yes.
You don't have to be a victim your entire life. Just forgive her and move on.
Yep.
Stop it.
Stop it.
We'll bury her in the back of the family around. In a box. Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, there's a Mad TV clip starring Bob Newhart.
Just stop it. And you can Google it, YouTube. Just stop it.
Just stop it. It's Bob Newhart. Just stop it. It was a Mad TV clip, and man, I tell you what, it's funny. It's blunt. It's harsh. It's got sharp edges, but son of a bitch, is it right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's spot on, man. And there have been some disciplinarians in my life, and some people I appreciated their bluntness, and there's other people that I did not. That it was too blunt, too personal, too minute, and they said it to hurt.
Yeah.
And now that's not the right way. But what I was saying about the Freud having, these are the things that affected you. This is why you're this way. Okay, now you got to that point. You got food in the pot now, but now it's time to serve. Now you empty it out. You realize that all this stuff that you accumulated, all this pain that you accumulated, it was subjected to that gathering of information. But when you can stand back and go, I'm really not hungry for that anymore, you can walk away from it. And you don't have to deal with that shit anymore. Because I was talking to my buddy Chuck today. And I go, Chuck, you should never walk around full of regret. It's hard not to, man. And sometimes when you're just getting ready to go to bed and, you thought about that time you cheated in a bicycle race when you were 11 years old. You lowered the guy's air pressure in his tire so he couldn't go as fast. You think about, why was I like that? And then there you go, not sleeping. When you get to that point, you have to, you really got to have this like wholesale forgiveness of yourself. And that, like I said, about 10 minutes ago, the whole Jesus thing was a huge hit. Because here's a guy willing to take on all your sins, all your problems, forgive you, wash you in his own blood, give you the gift of the Holy Spirit, which is the most wondrous thing in the world, restore you with Christ consciousness, and let you be a new creation in the world, thinking and acting and being different, having a mindful superego. But then, like I said, it does. That excitement simmers down, and then you realize, wow, I was forgiven of that, and I was forgiven of that, and I was forgiven of that. But who made all that stuff happen? A lot of times it was you. Now, I'm not saying people can't be victims of circumstance. They certainly can. And yeah, there's a lot of times you look at a situation and go, man, I blame that dude right there because he did that and all that other shit happened. I get it. But what I was telling Chuck, I go, don't ever wrangle yourself over something that you did in the past, because the person that did that is not you. That was who you were on that day. You were probably doing the best that you could do on that day. But now that you have more knowledge and more understanding of who you are, you need to forgive yourself of those days. You need to let all that stuff go, because it was in that instant, and all you have left of it really is the memory and the feeling of it. That's what you have left of it, or sometimes if there's some kind of physical remains. But you need to let yourself go of all that stuff you continuously blame yourself for, because the person that made those mistakes is not the person sitting in your socks right now. You've changed, you've grown, you've matured, especially if you've been watching this show for the last few years. We got a bunch of shows on this, man. We're way up there with shows. You and I have done well over 300 shows, getting close to 400. You know that? So, amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
my pleasure.
And mine as well. So, we're like those two gophers on the cartoons. Oh, you first. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly.
Like,
oh, no.
Well, the only thing, we have a big audience among extraterrestrials. We're not really quite sure the terrestrials at this point, but E.T. likes us.
Yeah. I and our core group of people that watch the show regularly, hey, we know it goes on for an hour. We know it's not edited. We know it's not pretty. It's not subtitled. We don't have flashy pictures for you to look at. You just got a couple of husky hippies staring at a little camera over there, and the Husky Hippie Show. That would be our if we ever need to make a T-shirt.
Yeah. Click and clunk.
Click and clunk. Can I be click?
It's okay. I'm okay.
You're okay with clunk?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, ladies,
it would have been a different show if Hogan's here. So Captain
Clunk. That would have been very funny. Where are we at on time, Mike?
Oh, we're way over.
Are we?
Yeah, time to pull the cord.
Is it what time? Is it?
Let's see.
Is it 8:30?
Yeah, it's 8:35.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sitting in for another hour hour and 5 minutes of watching these two comedic agony as we smear shit down the halls of paradise. You guys were, it's always wonderful to speak with you all. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. Do anything you want with this. We don't own it. It's not monetized. I guess we own it, kind of. Whatever these words are worth. Yeah. But the show's not monetized. There's nobody you're going to have to pay royalties to. Share it with a friend. If you think we're amusing, great. If you don't, then you probably aren't watching anyway. So,
and then there's a porta potty out there waiting for you somewhere.
Yes. And remember, folks, here we are. You can see us on imho.love, which is the homepage. Our beautiful Kathy McGuire keeps that tuned up for us. She just downloaded a bunch of shows, so if you missed some, there's some on there. And we're on BitChute. BitChute's pretty awesome once you get to it. And Podbean and YouTube. I don't think we've pissed anybody off too bad over there. And, of course, we're on Facebook Live every Wednesday night at 7:30 Eastern Time. I'm Lou Angelwolf. I'm a stand-up comic. I'm working at Side Splitters Wesley Chapel next Thursday through Sunday, the 16th through the 19th. 5 shows out there. Our next CE5 is October 2 here at the Darby Ranch. And what Mike and I say all the time is we're really we love our group and we love it, of everybody that comes. But what we're also telling you is if you're far away and you want to start your own, come on up here for a few sessions, see how it's done, and feel free to do it in your own backyard or however. Get away from as much light pollution as you can. And that's why this place is just such a godsend. It really is. I mean, it's
It's a place where ET can be safe and human beings can be safe and they can practice this in a loving and compassionate and reassuring area. So,
you know, it was amazing last night, and I'm going to close. I know we're way over. Last week, after we had some sightings, we had some fast walkers and some flash bulbs and all that stuff, the helicopters came over twice.
Yeah. That's when you know you're hitting it out of the park. Yeah. The second one was a big Huey. It flew right over our circle.
Yeah, right over our circle.
Which is where
we all got photographed, dude.
Yeah. Well, it was also where all the craft were showing.
Yeah, exactly right.
Right over the circle to the south.
Thank you for tuning into the imho.love show. We got to say goodnight. Hi, Mark Cottingham. Have a great All right, you guys are great, and we love you a bunch, and thanks so much, and shalom alaikum.